There we go. Now I'm almost sober. And that's the title of today's show. What is sober? And this comes from Patrick JudahSeeds. He was my muse for today's video, because in one of my previous ones where I talk about how I don't really get high, I just medicate. And he mentioned to me, he says, look up the definition of sober. Most people don't understand that I'm paraphrasing him, but peace, Patrick. That most people don't understand those in pain are below a certain level, and taking the medicine brings them to that state of sobriety. And even, depending on the definition you look up, even those that are not in pain, while under the influence, even heavily, of marijuana, seem to match some definitions of sober. Yet, if you're under the influence of alcohol, you don't meet that definition. So, just for fun, let's go through a little bit. I went to dictionary.com. I went to the Urban Dictionary first. And the Urban Dictionary, if you look up sober, it says not drunk or stoned or otherwise influenced by something. And that's way too broad. That's way too broad. That's just... I don't think it defines it. And it was too short. Anyways, so let's move on to dictionary.com. Dictionary.com, the very first, and actually you find it in almost everyone, the very first definition is not intoxicated or drunk. Now, definitely, under pot, we are not intoxicated. Now, we could then go on to look up intoxication, and intoxication has to do with alcohol. Or we could cut a few fine hairs and say that maybe a person, while under the influence of marijuana, under cannabis, is intoxicated, but I don't think so. Again, quiet or sedate in demeanor as people. They're a sober group. They're quiet. That defines most of us. Sober group of people. Because we are quiet, we are somewhat sedated, in the way that our mind is freed to think incredibly, while our whole body can relax, and it seems to properly make your body flow, where when we are not, especially us with chronic pain, when we are not sedated with this medicine, we are not sober, because that's when we are impaired. You know, if you're impaired, you can't think right, you can't act right, you can't drive a vehicle properly. And believe me, if I have no painkillers, if I have nothing in my system, if I'm not looking after myself with my medicine, I can't drive. I can't live a normal life. Boom, I had the cannabis. I can live an almost fully normal life. In fact, I could do my job. But my company would not, because of stigma, not because of scientific research, would not ever think of letting me manage a group of people while medicated with pot. Stigma. Even if a few of the managers, because I wasn't a lower end kind of person in a very big company, I was quite a ways up there. even other managers would probably go, you know, I know he could, and I know we could, and in fact, I bet you 2/3 of them smoke it because most of the people I worked with did. But the stigma's there. The stigma is all over. We have to trump on it. So, I have other definitions. I did go to Oxford, and it said, and again, the very first one, not affected by alcohol, not drunk. Serious, sensible, and solemn, a sober view of life. That more accurately reflects, it seems to describe anybody who is medicating or who might just be nicely high on life and high on cannabis. There also is the verb of sober, you know, that sobered him up, or that really sobered that group by his speech. But back to reality, I, right now, am sober from this stuff. Right there. I am sober from that leaf because I can meet my day. This is finally a Monday, not after a weekend with my son. So I was medicating through the weekend. So Monday, I've been out for the last 4 hours getting things done, visiting with people, getting some of the paperwork I need to get together for my ex-wife's lawyer, getting things done because I'm properly medicated. But this weekend, boom, gotta stop again. Absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. A sober man can look after a child, but his, and never mind, we just all know that the stigma of pot compared to alcohol is absolutely ridiculous, when alcohol is truly, truly a poison, and cannabis is truly, truly a medicine with no side effects. Yet, alcohol is readily available and allowed to drink it in front of kids and all that kind of stuff. But even a man who medicates in his basement, hiding it from everybody and not talking about it, has to be separated from his child, because boy, oh boy, we can't have a child learning about this stuff. I have Chocolope here from MMJ. I want to say, you know, with Canada Revenue Agency saying that we can claim our medical marijuana, they had better amend that and include dispensaries, because nothing's making me switch. Nothing. I'm not going to be bribed by the government to purchase from an LP, and that's what that decision is. It's bribery. So cheers to everybody. I hope you like my new backdrop. I hope sound and everything's all right. It seems to be doing pretty good. And I hope to be making a few more if I can get my finances in order. It started today. Peace, cheers, love, harmony. Have a great one.